Ja, it's a binish ag édal si duna ja it's anal si éki ani adona in slí godal be is chin squad cheat ni é de si shades go bahan é de sin nelle agwat as den in Island. Si é Shandine Paul Parish Unish yeah. Twada nesh and dant na sha dol not as on dan dol dena hoto dant tishike. Shema dol shija a Shelley Parish dol TJ Bigay will yeah. Adol bethreje e nake shideja dol shitila hono. Shema sana a Wanda Small Canyon Parish will yeah. Adol shiche a Paul Parish will yeah and aunt. Chanel has teen a Bill Bigay will yeah. Adol Chanel as a Pauline Johnson Bigay will yeah and aunt. Si é Navajo bit eke na ki de mil doba an na has eight ada dol na ki de mil doba an na dini ha aginishla. Hello everybody, good morning and happy Navajo Code Talker Day. We are so happy that you joined us this morning, this beautiful early morning to celebrate our Navajo Code Talkers. Today we are together to celebrate a Navajo Code Talker tribute for all of the Code Talkers that gave selfless sacrifices to our country and represented the Navajo Nation to the world. We also recognize the families and the loved ones of all of our Code Talkers. So today, from the Office of the President and Vice President, we wish you a happy Navajo Code Talker Day. First, we will start with our national anthem. Today, the national anthem will be sung by Aisha Sosi. She is the current Miss Fort Defiance Veterans Princess 2019-2020, and she represents all the veterans in the Navajo Nation. So, take it away, Aisha.
One. Hayol kalbi yede badawini goten danat aiya gonihet nalini no dos do besante sons na bayit kaiya bit ahoni ya goday natli ni hit in dahade banli ni ho ahola go binani da bahadi dahlan de hey abi do si hasin tone das so sind oh she is so built an ilgo danata hulato ni ke ya big iki kan ho na has glee.
Aisha, thank you for that beautiful rendition of the national anthem. At this time, Aisha will continue her presentation and she'll sing the Navajo Nation flag song to honor all of the veterans on the Navajo Nation and especially our Navajo Code Talkers today.
Hey, young go ni ye danat a hello. Hey, young the guy dos the cheap no don't go ni ye danat a hello. Hey, young yatuk ish gapen na jinson a del sauce. Hey, young dola do basilic on the chimpagata. Hey.
Protect the sacred knowledge.
Thank you, Aisha. Thank you, Miss Fortifiance Veterans Princess, for representing all of the veterans and the Navajo Code Talkers and their families throughout the Navajo Nation, and really representing all of our veterans to the entire world. I know today we can't be together in person, but this is for our safety. And we would like to continue to remind everybody to social distance when we have to be in public, to wear your masks, to continue to wash your hands, and to remember that the safest place at this time is at home. So today, a lot of our Navajo Nation employees have the day off in order to honor our Navajo Code Talkers, and I think this is a beautiful way to recognize our Code Talkers, because now the Navajo Code Talker Day is a national holiday. In 1982, President Ronald Reagan signed an executive order to establish the Navajo Code Talker Day, not only for where we live throughout the different states, but recognizing it throughout the entire United States. So today we celebrate Navajo Code Talker Day along with the Americans across the United States. So we have a special guest coming up, and we're excited to have this special guest because this event, the Navajo Code Talker Day event, is a virtual tribute for our Code Talkers. So what that means is that we can connect with a lot more people. And this particular special guest played many roles in some of the throughout modern media, and he also made a contribution in the movie Wind Talkers. So we will connect to that person when it's time. But I wanted to talk about my personal experience with growing up with a Navajo Code Talker. So my full name is Shondine Paul Parrish, and I'm named after my grandfather. My grandfather's name was Paul Parrish, and he was from Kayenta, Arizona. That's where I grew up, and a lot of the parishes are from that area. So when I was born, I'm his firstborn granddaughter, and he named me. He chose to name me the way my name is, and it's an honor to be named after him, because I look back at his life and how his contribution shaped him and ultimately shaped me. And I know that a lot of our families across the Navajo Nation share those same teachings, share that recognition, and they share the legacy, the history of our Code Talkers on a personal level. A lot of people will read about the Navajo Code Talkers and look at today and salute our Code Talkers, but our families, the wives of our Code Talkers, the sons, the daughters, the granddaughters, the grandsons, the Nellies, everybody, the loved ones of our Code Talkers, they share those experiences that can never be written in history books and really captured in photographs, because those memories and those photos and those images, they lie within our hearts. So today I brought a photo of my grandfather. And I just would like to encourage everybody, if you would like to share maybe your stories of the Code Talkers in your families, or maybe an experience that you had an interaction with a Code Talker, because they are a part of history in the most significant way. They helped win World War II, and it is really our Navajo language that won World War II. So back to the movie, The Wind Talkers. The movie was created in 2002, and it was released in 2002. And do we have any guesses of who our special guest might be? Maybe leave it in the comments. So I'll give you another hint. The special guest is joining us from a different state. But they've been doing a lot of work with not only the Native American communities, but the Navajo Nation. This particular person has been working with Protect the Sacred, and Protect the Sacred is an organization that has been contributing to the Navajo Nation's COVID-19 relief efforts. The Protect the Sacred is a nonprofit entity that was organized by young and very determined individuals that wanted to see a change in their community and didn't just sit back and wait for the government to come and intervene, but really young people that wanted to take care of their own community members. So they partnered with this individual, and they really brought light to how we were being affected here on the Navajo Nation, and I really applaud their efforts. So it'll be a live address. This address will happen at 9:30. So we're coming up on that time, or very soon, maybe. And and this person is very passionate about not only the different efforts across the nation to help Native American tribes, but specifically the Navajo Nation. He's really taken an interest to and understanding and respect to the Navajo Nation and our culture. So that will happen fairly soon. In the meantime, I guess I'll share a story about my grandpa, and maybe a story that many of us can relate to. So when I was born, my grandfather was in his late 70s, and so it was the later part of his life. So I grew up with an older grandfather that didn't really talk about his experiences in World War II, but he accomplished quite a bit after the war. He went to college, and then he started one of the first businesses in Kayenta, and once the business was started, that really helped the economic development in our small town, and made contributions to the Navajo Nation Businessman Association, which was back in which was established in the 80s, and those are contributions that many of our code talkers have made, and really it speaks to their resilience, and it speaks to how they sacrifice their lives, they sacrifice their mental health, their spirituality, they sacrifice so much for us to be here today, and yet they continued to thrive after they came back from World War II, and I think that's amazing. So let me check in. Okay, it looks like our special guest is ready. So I will turn over the time to our special guest for the Navajo Nation virtual.
Hello, everybody. Is that me?
Go ahead, Mark.
Yate Shie Mark Ruffalo, Yinishe from Naples and Calabria, Italy, my mother and father's side. I'm honored to be here with you today. I had the good fortune of being cast in a movie about the Code Talkers, about the Navajo Code Talkers, called Wind Talkers. And that was pretty much my first introduction, other than a couple paragraphs in high more in history about what the Code Talkers had done, and how this country wouldn't have won the war without them, which means that this wouldn't be what it is today, and we wouldn't be enjoying the freedoms that we do today. And 2 paragraphs in a history book wasn't enough to cover that story. what I've come to learn since then is the grace that the Navajo people have and the heart that this very language, the irony of this history is that the United States did everything they could to snuff out the language, the culture of the Navajo people. They sent the young people, tore them from their families and homes and sent them to boarding schools, of course. They tried to re-educate them, brainwash them, erase them in some sense to become American or white. And so the irony that your language, your spirit, your fighting culture went on to win the war, and that the very thing that America was trying to destroy in you was the very thing that saved us. And that's a profound thing that we can't forget about, and that we I'm so grateful that you do this every year, because we have to keep reminding people that this is what happened. But I want to talk a little bit about another thing that is remarkable, was the generosity after being wiped out, after the long walk, after the boarding schools, after the systematic degradation of your culture and your society. You were asked to put your lives and your well-being on the line for a nation that in many ways wouldn't do the same for you. And that really speaks to what I know about the Navajo people, which is the grace of their hearts, and the old ways of seeing the world as interrelated, and all mankind and all living things as a kind of brother and sisterhood. That's the remarkable thing. And that's what moves me so deeply, and why I'm so honored to be here today, because to put all of that grief and sadness and harm and tragedy and trauma aside, like this speaker, the Miss Navajo just was saying, and forgiveness, and to be willing to sacrifice your lives is so antithetical in some ways to this whole idea of American individualism. And I'm so grateful that to Creator and anything that you believe in, that is what sustains in you that kind of resilience. And we've seen it happening here with this pandemic. I mean, it's no secret that the Navajo Nation was hit hardest per capita. But you guys beat all of the models on flattening the curve. And you did that because of your resilience and because of your brother and sisterhood, your sense of relatedness to each other, your respect for each other, your leadership in President Nez. Here we are again with the Native American Navajo Nation resilience, showing us the way once again. And so I'm proud to know you. I'm proud to stand by you. I get to do it. I'm proud to watch you guys find and take your place in this modern culture, in this modern America. and see the young people engaging and see your people governing, not only on your reservations, but in the rest of America. And so I thank you for being here. And I just want to say, let's keep this up. Let's fill out the censuses. Let's have a census party. That's how that's how your power is counted, and your people are counted for the next decade. Funding is allocated, and representation is allocated by the census. So it's the second most important thing you can do in a democracy, and the first most important thing is to vote. And so I'll be there with you, and let's do it, and let's make this world a better place to the Navajo Nation. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hi, Mark.
Hey, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. It's great to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you again too.
So I'm so honored and so happy that you could join us today here on National Navajo Code Talker Day. I'm here in Winter Rock.
I'm so honored to be here. And President Nez, I was on the call with him last night, and he said, "You want to join us?" And I said, "Yeah, I did a movie." He's like, "Yeah, I know you did a movie." But yeah, I'm so happy to be with you guys, and to be here on this important day with you.
Thank you so much. I just had one quick question about the films that I've done.
Yeah.
What was, or how did the movie Wind Talkers impact you?
How did it impact me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I like I said, I didn't really know the story. It was 2 paragraphs in my history book, which is such a such a injustice in a way, and so I really got to, first of all, I got to spend time with Navajo people, which was the first time in my life. But then I got to really understand the story, and some of the elders came to speak with us, to talk to us about it. I mean, it was a Hollywood movie, and I thought they could have spent a lot more time telling the story of the Navajo Code Talkers. But I started to really understand how important and integral the Navajo people's language was to the war effort. And also just the grace with which they came into this hostile environment, and with such humility, and yeah, that was really moving to me. And of course, I got to spend so much time with all those actors. Hi.
Oh, I didn't know you could see me before. Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your thoughtful response.
My pleasure.
All right. Okay. Well, we're gonna move to the next speaker, who's the Navajo Nation president. So I just want to say thank you so much, Mark, for joining us today.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
How do I do that? Hi everyone, sorry about that. We had a burst of, we lost power for a while, and that happens sometimes. We're out here in Winter Rock still, so it happens sometimes. But I just want to say thank you to Mark Ruffalo for his kind words about how the Navajo Code Talkers impacted him, and ultimately has changed his life so that he could continue to advocate for Native American communities, and especially the Navajo Nation. So thank you to our special guest today, Mark Ruffalo. Now that everybody hopefully is going to come back together, I just want to say welcome again to the 2020 Office of the President and Vice President virtual recognition of the Navajo Nation Code Talkers. Today is August 14th, and on every On every August 14th, we celebrate our Navajo Code Talkers. In 1982, President Ronald Reagan signed an executive order, a proclamation establishing Navajo Code Talker as a national holiday. This means that even though here on the Navajo Nation, we take this as a day to celebrate the Navajo Code Talkers. Now, all of America is taking today to celebrate the selfless service of our Navajo Code Talkers. So now, again, thank you to Mark Ruffalo for his kind words. At this time, we will hear from our Navajo Nation Executive Directors. They took some time out of their busy schedule now that they're balancing out their duties during the pandemic. They took the time to say a few words about our Navajo Code Talkers.
I'd like to acknowledge all the families and friends of the Navajo Code Talkers. Since World War II, your love and support is appreciated. Thank you.
Today is a day we celebrate the bravery and the extraordinary services of our Navajo Code Talkers. Today is a day we celebrate the bravery and the extraordinary services of our Navajo Code Talkers. As you're all aware, they have won a battle using our Navajo language.
Greetings and Yate Shishika Edoshidane, Garrett Silversmith and Shia, Division Director for Navajo Division of Transportation. It's important that on August 14th, we honor, celebrate, recognize the legacy of Navajo Nation Code Talkers. Let's also remember their achievements, accomplishments, and sacrifices that they made for this great country of ours. Thank you.
Hello, Oliver Whaley here. I'm the Executive Director for Navajo Nation EPA. Just wanted to say thank you to all of our warriors, our Code Talkers, and our veterans. Enjoy today and celebrate with your family and remember those who went before us. Thank you. Have a great day.
Good morning. I just want to thank everyone that's watching this morning. I'm the Director for the Navajo Department of Health. I just wanted to extend the appreciation to the families and those that have been involved with the Navajo Code Talkers Day, all of those who have served, and I just want to say thank you. And we used our own language to help protect our country, so I just want to make sure that we remember that on a regular basis. Even though we're in the pandemic, we're here today and we need to still celebrate even though we're not here in person. So thank you.
From Marine Corps Gunnery Sergeant Jim Zwerline, Semper Fidelis Marines, hoorah.
No. Hello. Thank you to our Navajo Nation Executive Directors for taking the time out of their busy schedule to share some words honoring our Navajo Code Talkers. We take great admiration for the work that they're doing and the encouragement that they give to everybody, to our people. Now we're going to hear from New Mexico Senator Tom Udall. New Mexico Senator Tom Udall offered some words honoring the Navajo Code Talkers to the office of the President and Vice President, and we're excited to hear what he has to say.
It's an honor and privilege to speak to you today. I've been asked to read a statement to you on behalf of Senator Tom Udall in honor of Navajo Code Talker Day, to also honor my late Nolly, Corporal Joe Vandiver Sr. On behalf of my late Nolly, Corporal Joe Vandiver Sr., who served with the 6th Marine Division, 3rd Raider Battalion, I represent him today to honor his legacy. Shea Shelby Vandiver Yinshke, Tubaja Aja Nishle, Kiani Bashishchim, Chishin dashache, Tachini dashanella, Akot ego a astanan nishlin, Guanyajin de nasha. I was honorably discharged from the United States Army in 2015 with 8 years. I deployed with the 101st Screaming Eagle Division of Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Now I will read a statement from Senator Tom Udall in honor of National Navajo Code Talkers Day, August 14, 2020. Yat-A to all the families and friends of Navajo Code Talkers. Today we honor more than 400 Navajo Code Talkers whose courage, tenacity, and skills help win battles, save lives, and keep the world safe for democracy. Almost 80 years ago, Navajo men volunteered for Code Talker duty to fight for a country that not even recognized them as citizens until 2 decades earlier. Even though the Navajo people had lived on these lands since time immemorial, nonetheless, these brave young men enlisted so they could serve. The Code Talkers training in the United States Marine was rigorous. And on the battlefields, as they risked their lives, they relayed countless messages in Navajo code with critical information in quick succession. Their code was never broken. In the Navajo code, the word for America was our mother. As one Code Talker has explained, our mother stood for freedom, our religion, our ways of life. And that's why we went in. The Navajo Marine identified culture with their country. When they fought for both. Navajo Code Talkers' unique contribution, however, was kept classified for many years until 1968. And they were finally honored in 2001 with the Congressional Gold and Silver Medals, recognition that was long overdue. Today, 4 of these heroes are still with us today. Thomas H. Begay, who grew up speaking only Navajo, enlisted when he was 16, joined the 5th Marine Division, and survived the Battle of Iwo Jima. Mr. Begay served in the United States Army in the Korean War and survived the Chosin Reservoir Battle. He continued to serve by working for the Bureau of Land Management, where he was responsible for Navajo Nation Tribal Trust programs. John Kinsel Sr., who grew up herding sheep in the mountains and canyons in the northeast Arizona, also enlisted in the Marines, helped the first 29 Code Talkers develop some of the code words, and served with distinction in the 3rd Marine Division in the Solomon Islands, Guam, and Iwo Jima. Samuel Sandoval also helped develop some of the first code. Serving in the 1st Marine Division, Samuel was involved in 5 combat tours, including Okinawa. Back home, Mr. Sandoval didn't stop counseling people with substance abuse and starting his own clinic. And Peter McDonald Sr., who serves as president for the Navajo Code Talkers Association. Mr. McDonald was raised herding sheep and entered the Marine Corps and trained as a Navajo Code Talker. Although the war ended after his training, he was deployed in post-war China to guard surrendered Japanese officers. Mr. McDonald also served as chairman of the Navajo Nation. Today, we honor the service of these 4 men and the service of your more than 400 brothers who sacrificed at a critical time for the security of our nation and the world. We can never thank you enough, but from the bottom of my heart,
thank you to the Office of New Mexico. The time and effort that the senator thought in his message was significant. So we thank the Office of New Mexico Senator Tom Udall. At this time, we would like to present a message from the United States Marine Corps. The United States Marine Corps has provided us a message to the Navajo Nation and to the Navajo people to honor the Navajo Code Talkers, but also in recognition of all our veterans and the significant sacrifice all of our Navajo Code Talkers and Navajo veterans have sacrificed for our country.
To our Navajo Code Talkers, veterans, and their families, Sergeant Major and I want to send a message of deep gratitude to you on this very important day for the Marine Corps and the United States, National Navajo Code Talkers Day. We recognize and honor our great, selfless, and brave Navajo warriors, their families, and communities. We're blessed to have several still with us today, 75 years after World War II ended. Our Navajo Code Talkers deserve a sincere thanks for their bravery and courage to defend our country.
In 1942, the Navajo Nation answered America's call during World War II, as brave men known as Navajo Code Talkers rose to the challenge to defend our nation. These Marines played a crucial role in what has been noted as the deciding factor in the war effort in the Pacific Theater. We ask Marines to take time today to remember those who have passed and their families who continue to honor their service.
Today, the Marine Corps extends its gratitude to the brave and selfless service of the Navajo Nation, from Iwo Jima and the battles of the Pacific, to the men and women who still choose to serve today. We thank and honor the Navajo Nation for their service.
The Navajo Code Talkers will forever remain a key part of the proud history of the Corps for their pivotal role in the Pacific. Semper Fidelis, Marines.
Thank you to the United States Marine Corps for your video and your words, to the Navajo Code Talkers, to their family members, and to the Navajo Nation. Thank you for, I can't thank you enough for, my grandfather was a Code Talker, and my dad, my father, he's also a Marine, and I just want to say thank you from myself. Next, we will hear from the Navajo Nation President. The President of the Navajo Nation has prepared his Navajo Code Talker Day address. So.
Hi there, everybody. Yate Kodo Jonathan Nezan, he's the Navajo Nation President. Kodo Behas Zigi Kodo and Hitsalal, so Navajo Nation Code Talkers Behni. ADJ Friday, August 14th, 2020. These Ziligido Kwayos Katigi Kodo and Hitsalal, so Nihizad Yinache Naha Yadas Tio Yichanda Baho, Jo Behni, our Navajo Code Talkers. So DJ Ya Kodo He Shi Dabadi Nido Le Sainha Yitza Daiste Akonde DJ Bedel Nishkiroshina Navajo Code Talkers. Aro Adi Forgo Handiko Yitolodo Samuel Sandoval Thomas H.B. Gay, former chairman Peter McDonald, Otto John Kinzel Sr. J. Kwadi J. Ya Allah Nskago Banaho Ahande Jadipini na Kon Nasnegi do the Kosanskagi Nast Eitzata Ebini na Aro Nskago Atlasi Tlitish Keno Lini Akonde Kodo Yan Yitzlal so Bedel Nito Lesh Kiroshin. A He Kodo Dabidi Nido Lesh. Ja Quiche and in Handal Neston Hayadat get each Code Talkers done Linigi. Kut in his Zad, ye Benacha, the Hanel na, Jo World War II. Nanet da kut Benan Nishidayla, Nichanda Bahan, Nichanda Krigo. Ahot Ebe. Na de do ebini na ekon an hidanits non de krish keroshin. So we want to recognize today as Navajo Code Talkers Day, and we want to also appreciate our code talkers that have sacrificed their time and also their dedication. We want to recognize what they have contributed to the United States, to the world, really. You know, many experts have said that if it wasn't for the Code Talkers, we would have not won World War II. And we recognize that, and we appreciate the contributions of our Code Talkers who have passed on, some, and some that are still here with us today. So if you see a Code Talker, let them know. This Friday, today is a Navajo Nation holiday, and we just wanted to recognize the contributions of our Code Talkers. Of course, this is a day also to reflect and to say thank you to our veterans, Navajo veterans here on the Navajo Nation and all across this country and all around the world. As you see behind me, we have the legendary Navajo Code Talkers statue that was erected. And with the many bricks and mortar that this statue has, what it's been placed here for is the recognition here on our nation's capital, the most influential tribal nation in the world, the Navajo Nation. And without our Code Talkers, you know, we wouldn't be enjoying the freedoms here on the Navajo Nation. And, you know, if you've heard us in recent segments and interviews, the Navajo people, our warriors, our Code Talkers, our veterans have contributed greatly to the freedoms of this country. But you know, at times, indigenous peoples get pushed aside, but we are resilient. We're not just gonna roll over in defeat. We are always gonna stand up and fight for what we believe in. And many of our Code Talkers that have served, many, and all of them have put their own life on the line to help us here have a free country. And what we want to also say to the descendants and the family members is thank you as well for continuing to teach the legacy of the Navajo Code Talkers. Your warrior, your mom, your dad, and many others, our family members, are grateful for their dedication and their service to the great Navajo Nation. So ben nachakwa nakaho ato konshi binal kidigi edich ashi kon kujit beshpas andan linigi shi lata adale kodon ye salal so dan linigi Navajo Code Talkers behni dole no jo ben yaho ati da inishon don da nesta beninagi kon the Navajo Code Talkers bedel ni dole do ben da ni tin dole bena nishda yi lagi nakha ni za be da hanel na nigi shi ben da ni tin dole teach Friday ado Navajo Code Talkers Day alegi jo kon khalchen hit so ken nalike di nakha da I lagi nakhandaz bagi bada khwil ne ye da btzil dole ye hadalni dole bini ka nana jo ena antinti chla bedawilza di kon asnegi bichdi kha jo kon nihit zil the nani tlini kon nihit salao ye go banana shida ilago yichdas khidi nda pa aro khana khay ena halo di kon di bichdi pa di chostoi tini kon asnegi bedasni جدنني تليني نهتزيلو تشكيلو شنا نالتخو بداسني دولل بندات نوتين دولل كلون خالتشن يتسوكن ينالك بجاشن داسو يدا بتزيل دولل يهدالني دولل شدوهت دشليشلا دنزن دولل شدوهت شتزيل دولل داني دولل نخدو داني نالجي بهداينوشنا di kon asnegi shi bichdi kha ado di bikje de pa de kostensrage hast da joni jetzt lalt so ahot ado benande shitayilla de pa hota dich kodo Navajo Code Talkers bedel niho bichdi kashk enoshna be haday nos nidolel anal skade dan hinnaslegi so konso shin hich hasidolel happy Navajo Code Talkers Day. Enjoy for your Friday with your families and pass some of these stories down to your children, your grandchildren about the sacrifice of our Code Talkers, the hard work that they have done for the United States of America and all over the world. We are world renowned, and it's because of warriors like our Navajo Code Talkers and all our veterans out there. And even today, ladies and gentlemen, we are at war, believe it or not. We are at war with this COVID-19, and you are the warriors. And because we are all working together, we can fight this virus and we can defeat it. Just as our Code Talkers defeated the enemies, back in World War II, we will be victorious. God bless you. Enjoy your day, and God bless our great Navajo Nation.
President, thank you so much for your words of encouragement and your words of leadership during the pandemic. I think that that's exactly what we needed to remind ourselves that we are a resilient nation on this beautiful Navajo Code Talker Day. Now we will hear from Navajo Nation Vice President and the Navajo Nation Second Lady, Dottie. They prepared a video together.
Yat Edo, yeah, Sheikh Edo, Shidene, Vice President Lizer here, Comanche Nishle, Tolhana, Basas Chin, Auto Comanche Deshache, Clash Deshanele. Well, we're here in front of this esteemed bronze statue of the Navajo Code Talkers, and rightfully so. Today actually is Navajo Nation Code Talkers Day, where today we, Vice President and Second Lady Dottie, want to give them a shout out. So before I guess I give my little piece, I'm going to give a little bit of time to my beautiful wife Dottie, the Second Lady of the Navajo Nation, but my First Lady.
Yate She Dottie Lizer Yinisha, Kia Ani Nishle, my Idishkizni Bashichin, Da'atni Dashiche, Kachitni Dashanella. Good morning. Today's a very special day, August 14th, 2020. We just want to celebrate the Navajo Code Talkers Day and to give them a big thank you for all that they have done and that they have sacrificed. Thank you to our Lord and Savior, who has given us the language that has surpassed and just helped out our nation in our time of need. So we thank you, Code Talkers, and the families for your sacrifice as well, for allowing your husbands and your fathers and your brothers to allow them to go and to go on the front line. So once again, we thank you, and God bless each and every one of you who were involved, whether if it's a niece, a nephew, or those that have the lineage. Thank you for allowing your grandfather or your grandmother, your mother, your auntie, your uncle, for all that they do in their sacrifice. God bless each and every one of you, and continue to be safe out there. Continue to wear your mask. Don't let your guard down. Now is not the time, even though we see the numbers coming down. Don't let your guard down. So God bless each and every one of you. We love you from the office of First and Second Lady, and as the office of Vice President and Second Lady.
That's right. Today is such a great day that all across the world, the nation, the Navajo Code Talkers are being honored. Just a few days ago, we were with Vice President Pence, Senator McSally, and Governor Ducey and Admiral Muir. We just really wanted to be able to not only honor them, but something we should be thankful for all the time. As my wife had said, the language, right? 1 Corinthians 14:10. There is no language that is insignificant. And so, we know our language was given to us by our Creator, and He used it and helped us deliver America in its most trying time in the Pacific theater of World War II. So it's crucial and it's critical, but it's also a time to honor and pay respect to those who have given the ultimate sacrifice. So once again, on Navajo Nation Code Talker Day, we just want to show our love and appreciation for the Code Talkers, and we want to just thank our Creator for allowing them to utilize the beautiful language that we have, Dinibazad, that we can still be a vital aspect in the United States of America, and come alongside the government, our federal family, and also the citizens of this great country in a time when they perhaps really need a boost or a shot in the arm or something to be thankful for. Let today ring out throughout history, and let it ring out through our future times as well. The largest Indian tribe in the United States. We love this country, and if there was another conflict again, I know our people would stand the ready and they would sign up and they would say, "Here am I, send me." And so we love this country, and in a time as such as this time, we honor our Navajo Code Talkers. So we appreciate them, one and all of the families. As my beautiful wife has said, we love you. We're praying for you all, and again, be safe. Wear your masks. And here we are at the Navajo Nation, the Veterans Memorial Park here, and we're here by ourselves, so we didn't wear our mask. But we appreciate you and love you all, and continue to pray for the Navajo Nation. May God bless you as He blesses the Navajo Nation.
Akia, Vice President and Second Lady, thank you for your message for the Navajo Nation Code Talker virtual tribute today. So now I prepared a video as well, and happy to share the message with you now. What? Am I?
You're still live.
Oh, I didn't. Sorry. Am I still live now?
Yes.
Oh, so so this is a live event, and I don't know exactly when they're transitioning videos, but I'm honored to share a video with you all. Oh, okay. So what are we?
You're doing your message.
Okay, so we're having some technical difficulties. Now we will.
Silent Jordan. Just we're gonna switch to the next one.
Okay, so I'm working with our tech person right now, and it sounds like we're going to. So let me talk about the students at Donnett College and the Winona State University have. They have created some messages individually to address the Navajo Code Talker Day celebration, and their videos are much longer. So we provided a link, and let me ask the tech do we have the link ready? Okay, so the link is, if you click on the link or if you enter the link into your URL, you're going to come across a few videos from different college students paying tribute to our Navajo Code Talkers. And thank you to Donnett College and to the students at Winona State University for creating beautiful videos to recognize our Navajo Code Talkers today. Now we will continue with the United States Marine Corps Band presentation of TAPS. Did you get it? I'd like to thank all of you for joining us here on the Navajo Nation President Jonathan Nez and the Vice President Myron Leiser's Facebook page for the Navajo Nation virtual tribute to our Navajo Code Talkers. May all of you celebrate our Navajo Code Talkers today and have a blessed day. Continue to pay tribute to our Code Talkers by sharing as much as you want, and also teaching our children and our grandchildren about the contributions their grandfathers have made, and then how that has impacted your family, your life, and ultimately how their selfless sacrifices have impacted the Navajo Nation and helped win World War II for America, so that we can be free, and so that we can be free today. So again, thank you so much. At this time, we will conclude with a tribute from the band Testify out of Church Rock, New Mexico. Testify is led by one of our very own Navajo Nation Council delegates, Edmund Yazi's son. So I hope you enjoy and have a blessed day. Ahiahet.